out of Hemlock shelter, getting a nice and early start. It's about 6:15, so I got almost 20 miles to do today. Ended up not being the only person. Some guy rolled in at about 8:30 and stayed in the shelter. And then about 2 something this morning, I hear him yelling at something to get away from his gear. Apparently he had just left stuff all over the place. It's probably the porcupines. Although it could have been a bear because there was no other bag in the bear box, so he obviously didn't put his food away. But fortunately I was able to get back to sleep after a little while, so it wasn't too bad. Today I will be crossing into territory that I know, that I did my hike 2 years ago through Massachusetts, so that'll be nice. Once I do the road crossing, I believe it's at the bottom of this hill, and then we got some fields to go through, so hopefully it'll be a relatively easy 20. Yet another gorgeous view this morning. I tell you, I'm glad that yesterday and today are dry, because this is all rocks. It's fun, but it would not be fun if it were wet. So this is where I started my hike from 2 years ago. I remember 2 years ago that mountain had looked so imposing. Well, relatively imposing. Now it's just a blip. Oh, lovely field walking. There's a bit of it in Massachusetts, but everything's still wet because it's so early still. My shoes are getting a little damp, but they'll dry out. Just trying to find a place to sit down and take a little break. It's been about 2 hours that I've been out, so just have to keep walking until we find a place. Here's a monument to Shays' Rebellion, 1787. It was all about taxation in the new formed country of America. Kind of cool. Just took another break because some nice soul left some trail magic. So I had some Cheetos and a cherry Coke, and it was still really cold. They must have just put it out shortly before I got there, and they knew what people need. They even had a roll of toilet paper sitting there, so that was very nice. It's been a mile to get to the shelter, but I've got to sit here for a minute and just take in this view. This is up in an area called the Ledges. It's beautiful. So almost done with a almost 20-mile day, and I think it's 9 miles tomorrow till I get picked up at noon. It's been a pretty good day. Nothing too strenuous. Got some trail magic. At the last road crossing, they were just packing up, so I got a Snickers bar and a Pabst Blue Ribbon, so that was nice. And now I'm just gonna mosey into the shelter, enjoy the nice evening. Well, south to Wilcox shelter was terrible. At least there was no place to camp or hang a hammock. So I pushed out another 1.6 miles to North Wilcox shelter, and it's the same thing. It's just all enclosed, and this one's an old shelter, but ta-da, nobody else is here, so I've got the hammock coming up to the shelter. Hopefully nobody will show up and I can keep it there. If not, I'll just have to sleep in the shelter, because I don't have 5 more miles in me to the next camping spot. But hopefully nobody will show up, and this will be a good place to sleep tonight. There's a woodpecker up there, making quite a racket, tearing the tree apart. I was wondering what the noise was. All this stuff is falling down in the woods. I come out, and it's this woodpecker. He's going nuts. I left Wilcox North this morning. Actually got up at 5 and was able to get back to sleep until 6. So I started out at about 7. It's just beautiful here. Man, it's just so dense and pretty. So nobody else showed up at the shelter last night, so I slept in my hammock in the shelter. Hear the mice scurrying in the rafters all night long, but they didn't bother me. And I think I heard porcupines or something scrubbing around outside. But it was a good night. Got a good night's sleep. Now I've just got about 3 miles left till I get to where I'm getting picked up to go home. So I'm just taking my time. Got plenty of time. I said noon, and I'll probably be there by 10, so I'll probably call. Try to get picked up early, but it's just a beautiful morning. Worth taking my time and just taking a little stroll through the woods.